Feeling lost in the whirlwind of 2025? You're not alone. In a world that seems to change at lightning speed, where technology advances faster than we can adapt, and where social media constantly bombards us with conflicting messages about how to live, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and directionless. But what if I told you that the answers you're researching for have been available for thousands of years? What if the key to navigating modern life's complexities lies not in the latest self-help trend or productivity hack, but in ancient wisdom that has guided humanity through every challenge imaginable? Today, we re-diving deep into how biblical wisdom can transform your life in 2025. This is unable outdated rules or irrelevant teachings. This is about timeless principles that are more relevant now than ever before. Whether you're struggling with relationships, career choices, or simply finding your purpose in this fast-paced world, the Bible offers profound insights that can ground you, guide you, and give you the peace and direction you've been craving. The foundation of living a life guided by biblical wisdom starts with understanding that true wisdom is unjust knowledge. It is the skillful application of truth to everyday situation. Proverbs tells us that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, which means recognizing that there is something greater than ourselves and our limited perspective. In 2025, this principle is crucial because we're constantly tempted to think we have all the answers at our fingertips through Google, AI, and social media. Yet, despite having access to more information than any generation in history, anxiety, depression, and feelings of meaninglessness are at all-time highs. The first area where biblical wisdom transforms modern life is in how we approach decisions. In a culture that promotes following your heart and trusting your feelings, the Bible offers a different perspective. Jeremiah reminds us that the heart is deceitful above all things, and Proverbs encourages us to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. This doesn't mean we ignore our emotions or intuition, but rather we filter them through God's wisdom and principles. When facing major life decisions in 2025, whether it's choosing a career path, deciding on relationships, or making financial investments, biblical wisdom provides a framework that considers not just immediate gratification or worldly success, but eternal significance and moral integrity. Practical application of this wisdom means developing habits of prayer, scripture reading, and seeking counsel from mature believers before making important decisions. It means asking questions like, will this decision honor God? Will it benefit others? Does it align with biblical values of love, justice, and righteousness? These questions may seem simple, but they can prevent countless mistakes and lead to a life of greater purpose and satisfaction. The second transformative area is relationships. In 2025, we're more connected than ever through technology, yet loneliness and isolation are epidemic. Social media creates the illusion of connection while often leaving us feeling more alone than ever. Biblical wisdom offers profound insights into building meaningful relationships that last. The Bible teaches us to love our neighbors as ourselves, to forgive as we've been forgiven, and to prefer others above ourselves. These principles run counter to our culture's emphasis on self-promotion and personal branding. When we apply biblical wisdom to relationships, we learn the art of listening more than speaking, serving rather than being served, and building others up rather than tearing them down. This approach to relationships creates genuine connections that provide the deep fulfillment our souls crave. Whether it's marriage, friendships, workplace relationships, or interactions with strangers, biblical principles like kindness, patience, gentleness, and self-control transform how we engage with others and create positive ripple effects in our communities. The third area where biblical wisdom proves invaluable is in managing our relationship with money and possessions. In 2025, we're bombarded with messages about financial success, cryptocurrency investments, side hustles, and the pursuit of wealth. While the Bible doesn't condemn prosperity, It offers crucial wisdom about the proper role of money in our life. Jesus warned that we cannot serve both God and money, and Paul reminded us that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Biblical wisdom teaches us to be content with what we have, to be generous with others, and to store up treasures in heaven rather than solely focusing on earthly wealth. This doesn't mean we shouldn't work hard or be wise with our finances, but rather that we should maintain the proper perspective on money's role in our lives. When we apply biblical principles to our finances, principles like tithing, avoiding debt, being generous to those in need, and working with integrity, we often find that God provides for our needs in ways that purely secular financial advice cannot. The fourth crucial area is finding purpose and meaning in work. Many people in 2025 are struggling with career dissatisfaction, feeling like their work lacks meaning or significance. The modern world often promotes the idea that we should find our identity and fulfillment solely through our careers, leading to burnout and disappointment when our jobs inevitably fail to provide ultimate satisfaction. Biblical wisdom offers a different perspective on work and calling. The Bible teaches us that all honest work has dignity and that we should work as unto the Lord, not merely for human approval. This means approaching our jobs, regardless of what they are, with excellence, integrity, and a heart to serve others. When we understand that our ultimate purpose is to glorify God and serve others, even mundane tasks can become meaningful. This perspective transforms how we view our careers and can lead to greater satisfaction and peace, regardless of whether we're in what the world considers a prestigious profession. Biblical wisdom also guides us in how we handle stress and anxiety, which are perhaps the defining struggles of modern life. The Bible repeatedly tells us not to be anxious, but to cast our cares upon God. This is even just wishful thinking. It is a practical approach to mental health that has been proven effective for thousands of years. When we learn to pray about our concerns, to meditate on God's promises, and to trust in His sovereignty, we find peace that surpasses understanding. This doesn't mean we ignore practical steps to address our problems, but rather that we approach them from a position of faith rather than fear. Biblical wisdom teaches us to take one day at a time, to trust that God will provide for our needs, and to focus on what we can control while surrendering what we cannot. These principles provide a solid foundation for mental and emotional health that no amount of therapy or medication alone can provide. The practice of Sabbath rest is another area where biblical wisdom offers profound benefits for modern life. In a culture that glorifies busyness and constant productivity, the biblical principle of Sabbath rest seems countercultural, even impractical. Yet, taking regular time to rest, reflect, and reconnect with God and family is essential for our physical, mental, and spiritual health. The Sabbath is on to just about avoiding work. It asks about creating space for what matters most: relationships, reflection, and spiritual renewal. When we implement regular Sabbath rest in our lives, we often find that we're more productive and creative during our working hours. We're better able to maintain perspective on what's truly important, and we're less likely to burn out or lose sight of our values in the pursuit of worldly success. This biblical principle offers a sustainable approach to life that modern culture desperately needs. Biblical wisdom also provides guidance for navigating the complex ethical challenges of 2025. Issues like artificial intelligence, social media influence, environmental stewardship, and biotechnology present new moral dilemmas that require wisdom beyond human understanding. The Bible's timeless principles of love, justice, truth, and compassion provide a framework for addressing these modern challenges in ways that honor God and benefit humanity. When we approach these issues through the lens of biblical wisdom, we're able to make decisions that consider not just immediate benefits or profits, but long-term consequences and moral implications. This approach helps us live with integrity and purpose, even when facing unprecedented challenges that previous generations never had to consider. The transformation that comes from living according to biblical wisdom is just personal. It extends to our families, communities, and society as a whole. When we embody biblical principles in our daily lives, we become salt and light in the world, influencing others through our example rather than our words alone. This creates a positive cycle where wisdom and righteousness spread, contributing to the healing and restoration our world desperately needs. As we move forward in 2025, the choice is clear. We can continue to rely on the shifting sands of cultural trends and human wisdom, or we can build our lives on the solid rock of biblical truth. The Bible offers tested principles that have guided billions of people through every conceivable challenge and circumstance. These principles don't promise an easy life, but they promise a meaningful one. A life filled with purpose, peace, and the deep satisfaction that comes from aligning our ways with God's way. The journey of applying biblical wisdom to modern life is ongoing. It requires daily commitment to reading scripture, prayer, and fellowship with other believers. It means being willing to swim against the current of popular culture when biblical principles conflict with societal norms. But the rewards, the peace, purpose, and fulfillment that come from living according to God's design far outweigh the challenges. Remember, you don't have to have it all figured out to begin this journey. Start where you are, with what you have, and trust that God will guide you step by step. The same God who guided the Israelites through the wilderness, who gave Solomon wisdom to rule a nation, and who strengthened the apostles to change the world, is ready to guide you through the challenges and opportunities of 2025. Your life can be transformed by the power of biblical wisdom, not through your own strength, but through the grace and guidance of the one who created you for a purpose greater than you can imagine.